Hello friends, welcome back to that 1870s homestead. My name's Rachel. We're out here today underneath this great big massive mulberry tree, and I tried to offer it the harvest to my daughter-in-law. She's just busy with baby on a hip, doesn't know if she'd have time to do anything with it. I can't stand to see these things not be harvested. Mulberries, they're basically, like, I call them tree blackberries. Let me pick one if you've never seen one. So this is a mulberry. Looks exactly like a blackberry. Super prime, juicy right now. Yeah, tastes just like a blackberry. So I'm there. Can you guys see the tracks in the ground? Todd was slipping and sliding out here the other day with his lawnmower trying to mow. And all you have to do to harvest these is shake the tree. It's the simplest thing in the world to do. So we're gonna harvest these. I'm not sure what we're gonna make with them today, but we'll at least get something preserved. And you can see just from those couple shakes, the tarp, or it's just netting, is pretty full. So when I take them in, I'll be sorting out ones that are not ripe. You shouldn't eat non-ripe mulberries. But for now, we'll just pull everything to the middle, reposition our blanket, use a sheet, use whatever you have, and move on to the next branch. Alrighty, that's enough for today. I'd say that's probably 12 cups or so. I don't know, maybe more. And while I'm here, I'm gonna just pick out all the big leaves and sticks. All right, that's a nice harvest of mulberries, but we need to take them in and wash them. All right, we're gonna try to get these dumped into the sink, which is gonna be tricky in this netting. Ooh, juicy, juicy. So I have the sink plugged, and I just needed to get them in there because we're going to fill it now. We're gonna rinse these multiple times. And what you're gonna find is, like, any bugs, dirt, sticks are gonna float to the top. The berries will sink. The unripened berries will also float to the top. So I'll keep skimming that off. The last rinse, I'll do a slight splash of vinegar just to kill off any bacteria or anything like that from the bugs. It doesn't really kill it. It just helps clean them a little bit better. But man, that water is already purple. All right, I have decided that I'm undecided what I'm gonna do exactly. And this is a perfect solution for preserving any kind of fruits when you're completely undecided what you wanna do, but you still need to get something preserved, is this steam juicer. So it has 3 parts: the bottom water well, the fruit basket, whoops, that goes in top, and this catchment basin that sits right here that has this little funnel. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna steam juice it, get all that juice out that we can turn into future syrups, jellies, desserts, all kinds of things, even just adding it to drinks for my grandkids, whatever. So I'm gonna get this on high. We need to transfer all of our washed berries into the basket, so I'll do that next. This is another great way too, if you don't want to take the time, like Mulberries is one of the messiest fruits you can harvest. So there's just like little tiny still, it's mostly cottonwood debris that I wouldn't necessarily want to have in my jam or preserve or something like that. So this is a great way to filter out all those impurities. Your steamer is sterilizing the juice, so it's a great way to do it. Okay, I think that is about it. Almost a full basket. Hold on one second. I want to grab a glass of that water from rinsing them and show you how rich this color is. So that's just the rinse water. That, I don't know if it's going to show up. Like, that is like basically purple drink right now. So this is going to, though, turn into some super rich mulberry juice that, like I said, you can turn into, I don't know where I set my lid. I need to put my lid on here. That you can turn into jellies, simple syrups. So last year I made a great syrup. If you like wine, you could use it, preserve it now, use it later for making your own wine, cordials, lots of different things. So I think for now, I just need to be done. I'm just going to can it in quart jars as is. So this will take a minute. And then as you don't want any kids around when you're doing this job, this juice comes out beyond hot. And don't get it on yourself. Be super careful because you will burn yourself. This decants using this little clip. You open it up as this basin fills up and decant it off into a quart jar. So that's what we will be doing here shortly. Okay, I think we're ready to do some of our first decanting. It's been about 30 minutes. And one trick you can do once you have one of these tools is it's good to take your first run through. It sterilizes this tube for you. So I'll take that, pour it back through the top. And now that tube's nicely sterilized. Smells absolutely delicious. All right, but that's what you could expect. Some gorgeous, delicious, pure fruit juice. All right, so I'm just gonna leave my jar here because this can drip a little bit, and I use a stool, but you could bring something that's at a level that is not requiring you to hold this jar while you're decanting, because that's how accidents can happen. All right, so far we have 2 quarts done. We're working on our 3rd quart. As you can see, there's no change in color. That's one of the things I start looking for. You'll know when it's starting to get diluted. Another thing you're going to want to check from time to time is just making sure that you still have plenty of water in this basin. It's still about half full. So typically from one steam canner session, I can estimate for 4 quarts. So I brought up 4 quarts. If it's still like no color change at all, I may add some more water to it and see if we can't squeeze a little bit more juice out of those berries. Okay, as expected, we ended up with 4 quarts of mulberry juice. I did get a little bit on each rim as I was pulling it off from being decanted, and it comes out, it's like really, really concentrated, so it's kind of even thick, you would say. So it gets pretty darn sticky there on that lip. So wipe it really good with some warm water. And mulberry acidity is quite high. It's probably closer to, I think on research, it's 4.77 up to like 6 point something. So no need to add any lemon juice to make it sure it's safe. It's definitely safe for canning. I got my steam canner warming up behind me. We're going to can these for 15 minutes. If you don't have a steam canner, you can totally water bath can it. I need to go get one more lid, and then we'll be ready to go. The nice thing about steam canning is you can walk away from it and just come around every 30 minutes or so and decant it off. Put that on. I just need to wait for my steam pressure to come up for my elevation, and then I'll start the timer for 15 minutes. I did want to take a minute and show you what the fruit looks like when it's all said and done. And I probably could have squeezed, honestly, a little bit more out of this, but I didn't have the patience to wait anymore. But it kind of just turns almost gray, mushy-ish. I know it doesn't look gray on the camera very much, but like there's really nothing left. Like I'm squeezing it and it's just seeds. There's really nothing left in these berries. And you'll also know because it'll start coming out a lot slower out of, like you're not getting as much regularly, and it's basically all the cells in the fruit have exploded and given you all the juice that they had to give you. So all of this will just go out to the chickens and they will enjoy it. And as always, I'll wrap up the video. Oh, keynote too, can you guys see the stain? Wear clothing that you don't care about when you're doing stuff like this. Like mulberries stain pretty good, so at least wear something dark that should it stain, it might come out or be hidden. As always though, I will leave you guys with a video, the clip at the end showing you guys what these look like coming out of the canner. And now I have plenty of juice I can make. I am out of mulberry jelly, and that is a favorite here. Not only do we eat it, but we feed it to the orioles, the birds, every year instead of going out and buying grape jelly. And mulberry syrup still in stock downstairs. I just counted how many jars I have, so when that runs out, I'll have plenty of juice to add back to that. And then my daughter-in-law, I showed her the one that I told you at the beginning of the video didn't want any to harvest. She goes, "Ooh, those would make good popsicles." Yes, they would. So maybe some future grandbaby popsicles, no sugar needed. So how about that? All right, anyway, it's a great idea, no matter what your fruit is. Strawberries, or maybe you've got a huge load of strawberries, you're preserving those, you're left over with all those strawberry tops, steam them. Apples, I've done this with apples. After I make applesauce, throw all your apple peels and cores in your steamer. Get that last little bit of juice out. So many options. So see you guys on the next video, and thanks for joining me.